Ball picked up by Dermot Earley. Carlo Dwyer providing a run inside, but the space was created. Great run by Earley, gets a shot in, and the referee has blown his whistle for a foot trip and a chance here for Kildare.
Yeah, good decision that time by the referee. Dermot Earley, tremendous probing run, and then the point of shooting, he was tricked from behind.
This was a powerful run by Earley. The space in front of him opened, and he was just challenged as he went for the goal. Python takes his point. Sharing the free-taking responsibilities with John Doyle. Interesting to note as well, Mark, that when Dublin do get the ball at centre field, Carlo Dwyer is back helping out his defence. Just passing the midfield area now. Across to Eddie McCormick. Try Andrews.
In the hay there. And now we have the Brothers Pierce coming.
Falls to Shane Ryan. Coming through from centre field. Kieran Wheeler. Some pushing by Dublin. And that's going to be a free out to Kildare. Linda Murphy, who made his championship debut earlier this year against Louth. In fact, made one great save from Martin Farrelly in that championship match. Paul Kirk, using all his experience, giving it long again by passing that half-forward line. This time the break falls to Dermot Earley. Didn't like the challenge from the Dublin man. Slightly responded, continued on with the possession. And Doyle. Corey Malarkey, slightly over-elaboration, and away he goes. This is Brian Lacey, taking a wonderful run. Chased by Paul Curran. And that is just dropping it under the crossbar, but the goalkeeper just caught it and stepped out over the end line. Umpire Martin Collins, brother of the referee, quite adamant. This was a great run by Lacey. It took Paul Curran to eventually take him on. The ball dropped in towards Stephen Cluxton. Doubtful, I must say myself, from that particular perspective. But it is a 45, going to be taken by Martin Lynch. This goes off the boot. Still in play, Coleman Goggins. Unmarked is Darren Homan. Available in the centre, if he needed him, is John McNally or Colin Moore. He uses Ray Cosgrove instead. Still Cosgrove. Boyd Malarkey with it. Outside him is Colin Moore. Good defending by Kildare. Dermot Earley almost got a touch. It comes to Kieran Whelan. Hits it with power, but unfortunately inaccuracy. It's the first wide of the match for Dublin after 17.5 minutes of play. Look where Martin Lynch is. At the moment, Dublin are playing, or rather Kildare playing with a one-man full forward line. This is a chance for John McNally. 3 points. A forward that failed to score against Meath, and indeed against Wexford, has got 3 points in the Leinster final. A new star emerging.
And that's for sure, but you'd wonder what Martin Lynch was doing back there, because he handed that ball over there in this case, and a very, very good score.
Under pressure, Damien Hendy. Pushing the back by Shane Ryan. Free to Kildare, quickly taken by Ken Doyle. Dermot Earley survives the little push by Darren Homan. Damien Hendy. Wrong side it goes for John Doyle, easily picked up by Barry Cahill. Senan Connell. Ball not flowing his way so far. Paddy Christie. Over towards Colin Moore, knocked down by Anthony Rainbow to the waiting Dermot Earley. Martin Lynch. Pass just a little bit too high. Paddy Christie goes back to sweep up. Paul Curran, Darren Homan. Dublin in control once more. Giving it down the sideline. It's a poor pass.
Yes, I think in the last couple of minutes, Kildare seem to have taken the fizz out of that great start that Dublin had, and Dermot Earley in particular is beginning to impose himself on the game.
There, Anthony Rainbow. Just kept in by Colin Moore. Uses Darren Homan. Loses possession. Eddie McCormack feeds Dermot Earley. Carlo Dwyer makes a run up this Dublin defence so far. Eddie McCormack. Chance here. Uses Tadhg Fennan. Chance of a point. Just sends it wide. Second wide of the afternoon for Kildare. There just seems to be an uneasiness when Kildare go into the attack. They just seem to over-elaborate and unable to open up this Dublin defence so far.
Yes, their attacking actually is that little bit more laboured than Dublin's, and I think the lack of shape in their forward line is beginning to tell a little bit. Martin Lynch is playing very far out from goals.
This is John Doyle. That's a second point of the afternoon. Seems to love Croke Park. When he made his debut against Louth here 2 years ago, he scored 4 points. He's got 2 so far. Reverse angle camera just showing us exactly how John Doyle did it. It's going to be a real test of fitness and determination here this afternoon, because that was a throw as I speak by Peadar Andrews. It was 22 degrees here earlier, but there's a nice breeze now just developing, a diagonal breeze, just cooling matters down.
Yes, that's a very good point, Marty, actually. It's a proper cauldron down there at pitch level, and as the game goes on, the demands on fitness are going to be immense.
Killian Brennan just picking up an injury. On the panel 3 years ago, but spent some time then in Australia. Came back on to the panel last year and scored a goal in the Leinster semi-final. Plays his club football with Suncroft, as does his colleague Anthony Rainbow.
Yes, I think Kildare are best when they have a target man in there. Now Martin Lynch has come out to centre half forward, and Carlo Dwyer has taken up that position on the edge of the square, and Paul Curran has followed them back into the full back position. Paddy Christie has come out now to centre half back. Interesting to see Paul Curran go back on Carlo Dwyer in a full back position. Not normally where Paul Curran is happy. Well, he's a very experienced player, I suppose, but it's a very good point though.
3 out. Good work again by John Doyle. Carlo Dwyer, very involved. Killian Brennan. Doyle gets the return. Back to his midfielder, Killian Brennan. Good block down by Kieran Whelan. Comes to Tadhg Fennan. Narrowed it, angled it too much. Third wide for Kildare. Good interplay by Kildare here, and a good challenge by Kieran Whelan, getting in front of the shot. Breaking ball picked up by Paddy Christie, leaves it for Kieran Whelan. Senan Connell has changed wings. Shane Ryan. Allen wants it in the corner. Ken Doyle greets him on his path towards goal. Senan Conlon. Dangerous ball. Just kept in play. Chance of a goal, and Murphy saves. Comes back outside the Ray Cosgrove, took his eye off it, and Kildare survived. Damien Hendy. Pass back to Martin Lynch was rather unexpected, but still Kildare come away with it. Dermot Earley fouled off the ball by Shane Ryan. Referee allows the play to continue. This is Earley's midfield colleague, Killian Brennan, supported by Anthony Rainbow. Dispossessed easily by Kieran Whelan. Colin Moore now at left half forward. Back to Kieran Whelan. Hits it with power and accuracy. Playing in his 6th Leinster final, and still without a Leinster Championship medal. Hoping to change things. Colin Moore setting up the man from Raheny, and the 26-year-old doesn't miss from that range. Well caught by Ronan Sweeney. Dermot Earley. Down towards this wing. Kenny Dwan is chasing after Senan Conlon. And it's Dwan that makes the run. Senan Conlon chasing. Referee claims that the left half forward from the Fianna was fouling Kenny Dwan. Chance for Kildare and John Doyle. Interesting to see that he's taking this off the ground, something that Mark and myself have mentioned over the last few weeks. Let's see how accurate this is. It's a good one. 3 points for John Doyle. Nicely stroked free, facing Hill 16, reducing Dublin's advantage to just 3 points. Dermot Earley, lovely catch. Options available, very limited up front. John Doyle crosses from left corner forward to a right corner forward position. Gets it onto his left boot and sends it over the bar. 4 points for John Doyle, 1 for Tadhg Fennan, giving you a tally of Kildare. Lovely skill here from John Doyle. Onto the left boot this time.
It's a wonderful consummation to a lovely piece of fielding by Dermot Earley in the first place, who is having a fabulous game, I think, in the middle of the park for Kildare.
Cluxton's kick out goes straight down the middle, and once more the aforementioned Dermot Earley. Damien Hendy out towards Anthony Rainbow. Rainbow and Dwan have switched wings, and here's a chance for John Doyle. In the centre is Killian Brennan. There is a chance of a goal here. Decides to use Tadhg Fennan. Chance of a goal. Taken! Tadhg Fennan! Good decision making by Killian Brennan. Fabulous finishing by Tadhg Fennan. Brennan here could have been selfish. He knew Fennan could score. And boy, did he score.
Wonderful piece of interplay by Kildare. Again, great vision by Brennan. Giving the ball to Fennan. Lovely sidestep and rocketed it into the corner of the net. Great goal.
Goals have won Leinster finals. Remember 98, Brian Murphy. 99, Ollie Murphy. 2000, Dermot Earley and Tadhg Fennan. 2001, Graham Garrison. Here's a chance for Kildare. That one is wide. Tadhg Fennan has this ability to score goals against Dublin. We'll all remember that second half when it looked like they were dead and gone 2 years ago. Mick O'Dwyer, urgent. He wants to win this.
Again, 3 minutes ago it was going away from Kildare, 7 points to 3, but it's been an inspired period of play by them and a great return of a goal and 2 points.
And Dermot Earley is a source of major problems for Dublin, no doubt about it. Colin Moore, Alan Brogan, lovely turn, leaving Ken Doyle dead, still Brogan, and he kicks it wide. And he had options, but if we could compare with Killian Brennan, indeed as we watch on Taoiseach Bertie Ahern, he'd be disappointed with that effort, hoping of course that Dublin win their 44th Leinster title.
Well, I thought his decision making was correct that time to go for the score, but a bad cue went wide.
Break favours Paul Casey. Paul Curran makes himself available. Poor ball, however, easily picked up by Kenny Dwan. Kildare have settled after a most uneasy opening quarter. Tide Fenner held his ground well, did exceptionally well to hold it. When Cogan Goggins is breathing down the back of your neck. Ball inside was meant for Paul Casey, but he couldn't make it. Senan Connell goes way down into a defensive role to give this ball to Shane Ryan. Look where John Doyle is marking. Shane Ryan not given the chance to look around. Forced back. Loses Kieran Wheeler. Again, they bypass that half-forward line, giving it long. Chance here for John McNally. Great interception by Kildare and Pádraig Malarkey. Difficult angle, and it just swings to the right and wide. 3 wide for Dublin. Malarkey did very well. There is terrible uneasiness.
Yeah, but that was great defending, though, I think, by Brian Lacey to get around that time and put the pressure on. So it's the ball went wide.
Dermot Earley is down on the ground here, just in front of us. As Mick O'Dwyer and Eamon O'Meara did check about their star midfielder. And he's okay. Kick out by Enda Murphy. Ronan Sweeney knocks it down for Killian Brennan to pick it up. This is Kenny Dwan. Well won this time by Barry Cahill. In the centre, once again, is Paul Curran. Always seems to be available to help out a defensive colleague. Ken Doyle and John McNally. Referee blows the whistle, gives a free to Dublin. Brian Lacey and Ken Doyle have switched corners as well. Brian Lacey is now marking Alan Brogan.
Yes, but the 3 inside players in the Dublin team, Brogan, Cosgrave and McAnally, are interchanging all the time, making it very difficult for the Kildare full back line.
And it worked against Meath. Ray Cosgrove sends this to the left and wide. But just as you mentioned that interchange, Martin, this was a tactic by Tommy Lyons and his selectors that worked very well against Meath, and it's working here. Kildare are very uneasy.
Uneasy in their full back line, but I think that goal has taken a little bit of the spark out of them, and actually it has energised Kildare, who have been playing very well over the last 10 minutes.
Martin Lynch trying to gather possession, but it's Kieran Wheeler. Paul Casey lending assistance to Senan Connell, but Connell goes it alone and manages to squeeze it over the crossbar. The switch from left half forward to right half forward has certainly brought Connell into the game. He's much more prominent. Just the ball didn't seem to be falling his way. This was a very good run. Powerful once he has possession and accurate to match. Kick out goes straight to Darren Homan. Needs Paul Curran again. Half blocked by John Doyle. Chases the rebound. Picked up by Ronan Sweeney. Brings Anthony Rainbow into the game. Killian Brennan. There's acres of Croke Park space from here on. Just one man makes a run. That is Tadhg Fennan. Chasing Coleman, but it's a poor effort. And it's an easy ball for Stephen Cluxton. Shane Ryan has managed to escape from the shackles of Damien Hendy momentarily. 2 minutes of extra time here in Croke Park. And a free for Dublin. Just noting the name of Anthony Rainbow.
Just going back to that last Kildare attack, there was only one player inside the Kildare 45-metre line that time, and it was Tadhg Fennan. Very little support coming from the outside. They're trying to pull every player back behind the ball, or as many back behind the ball as possible.
Ken Doyle now being spoken to by Michael Collins and saying, I am aware of what's going on off the ball. So Ray Cosgrove, 2 goals and 3 points against Meath in the semi-final here in Croke Park. And that's the way it's going to stay. 5 wides for Dublin. Tommy Lyons, manager of Offaly, that won the National Football League in '98, Leinster '97. In his first year in charge of Dublin, and he do what he did with Offaly, win a Leinster title. Dublin failing to do so since 1995, and for them, that's quite a long time. Paul Casey misses the challenge. Ronan Sweeney pumps it into the space. Up front, Kildare just seem to have lost their shape. 2-man full forward line not really working, and all the players clustered around centre field. Darren Holman, good calling between McNally and Cosgrove. It's McNally that has the ball, giving it to his colleague in the full forward line, Alan Brogan. Good defending by Kildare, no way forward, and the referee gives the free to Kildare. And what we were criticising Kildare for in the opening 15 minutes, Dublin now seem to have picked it up, Martin, making things a little bit difficult for themselves and over elaborate.
Yes, and contriving to bunch actually, which is very difficult in this pitch.
Quick ball by Tadhg Fennan, but Paul Casey not able to reach it ahead of Stephen Cluxton. His captain provides support to Coleman Goggins. Heather Andrews, fouled by Eddie McCormack. Free to Dublin.
Yes, and in general, Kildare will be very happy with the first half performance, considering they've been 5 points to 1 down. They've really got into the game, and going in at half-time, playing against that win level, very good for their point of view.
Chance here for Dublin. Great point. Scored by Paddy Christie, would you believe? And in many ways, it's a reflection of the way the game is going. When Kildare are bringing Martin Lynch out around midfield, Dublin are following them, so it's not that surprising that Paddy Christie scores. And Paddy Christie's point signals half-time here in Croke Park. A game that was dominated by Dublin in the opening 15 minutes, but a goal by Tadhg Fennan gave new life to the Lily Whites. Alan Brogan sending this one in. Ray Cosgrove, as we look at some of the highlights from the first half. Killian Brennan setting up Tadhg Fennan here for a cracking goal that certainly gave new life to Kildare. It was a good decision by Brennan, not noted for his scoring, but here's a man who can score. This is the second time he scored a goal in the Leinster final. Can Kildare remain in front? Half-time. Dublin lead by just 1 point. Dublin 9 points, Kildare 1-5 in the Kildare lineup, but just a quick glance around the field would indicate that the same is true of Dublin. Interesting to note that there were no yellow cards in the first half, no changes at half-time, and Dublin lead by just 1 point. Michael Collins starts the second half once the watch is checked, And away we go. Dermot Early. Backfires Killian Brennan. Tyke Fennan. Carlo Dwyer providing the overlap. Ball inside is a good one. First point of the day for Carlo Dwyer. Has had several injury problems, dead leg, back and hamstring problems. Came on to the replay against Offaly as he scores his first point in the Leinster final. So it's good to see the 32-year-old native of Waterville playing, of course, his club football now for a number of years in County Kildare. Darren Homan loses the ball, picked up by Kenny Dwan and Eddie McCormack. Over towards Martin Lynch. There are two Kildare players providing an overlap. One of them is Killian Brennan. Eddie McCormack was the other one. Brennan shoots, but it's well wide. Tommy Lyons hoping, of course, that this tactic of sending in the ball long from half-back and midfield will work. Indeed, he was indicating to a member of the substitute panel that he may be introduced. As we continue on with Barry Cahill, ball given away, picked up by Anthony Rainbow, sent in long again. Here comes Lynch rather late, and that's going to be a free for Dublin and Darren Homan. Paddy Christie laying it off for Kieran Whelan. Flicking it over for Paul Curran. Changes the direction of play over for Senan Connell, who's back now at left half forward. Colin Moore. Connell has gone inside. Can't feed him quick enough. Nice skill by Colin Moore. Holds his composure, then takes off on a dash. And Enda Murphy had it well covered, but it was a foul on Colin Moore. Free to Dublin.
Lovely incisive run that time by Colin Moore, but Kenny Dwan committed the free just at the point that he was kicking the ball. Correct decision.
Ray Cosgrove, part of a full forward line that scored 6 points in the opening half. Ray Cosgrove's third puts Dublin back in front again. Just 1 point between the teams. This game has been level twice. Carlo Dwyer's point moments ago, which didn't last very long. Here's a great run by Kieran Whelan. Can he finish? And this hits. He's inclined now this season to play more of a defensive midfielder. The Dub supporters on Hill 16 love these surging runs by Whelan, but I think the strategy is that he plays a far more deeper role.
Yes, very much so. The holding role seems to be his role this year, but at the moment he needs to start dominating Dermot Early.
Kick out by Enda Murphy goes straight to Pather Andrews. Support is from Paul Casey. Uses Alan Brogan. Back outside. To Pather Andrews. Well blocked down. Sliding tackle went unnoticed. Killian Brennan flicks it outside for Eddie McCormack. Positions at the moment mean very little. This is Dermot Early. He has plenty of space in front of him. Paul Curran comes in and oh, what a shot! And it was just centimetres wide. And Stephen Cluxton is annoyed with his defence, and rightly so, because the gap opened up in front of Dermot Early. And again it was Paul Curran that had to come in, and it wasn't that far away. Great run and a great shot by Early.
Wonderful surging run with nobody tracking him back. Paul Curran had to do all the hard work there, but very unlucky with the shot.
Kieran Whelan. Again, giving it long, spraying it over first Colin Moore. John McNally leaves it for him. Alan Brogan, back to McNally. Again, unable to find the target. It's 7 wides now for Dublin. Uneasiness on both sides in the early stages of the second half in terms of shooting.
Yes, their game is a little bit more disjointed, whereas earlier it was purposeful. Now it has become a little bit disjointed up front.
Linda Murphy, who's taken over the goalkeeping duties from Christy Byrne, who is named as substitute goalkeeper this afternoon, back after injury. Break favours Shane Ryan. Can he score? The answer is the negative, I'm afraid. And he remains, in terms of championship football, still the only one not to score. So Darren McGee is going to come off, and it's Paul Curran is making way. Younger brother of Johnny McGee came on against Meath for Down, placed Paul Curran in the game against Wexford, and obviously they must feel perhaps that Paul Curran is tired, because certainly his reading of the game was quite superb.
Very much so, and he was covering over for other players who weren't doing their job actually, but maybe that's taken out of him because it's so warm down there.
Anthony Rainbow. Pumping it into the corner. Paddy Christie is back there. Stephen Cluxton calls. Changes the play over this side. Unable to reach it, Colin Moore. Sideline ball, Kildare. Martin Lynch picks up the loose ball, and again it's gone wide. Tommy Lyons thinking, can he make any other changes to change the trend of this particular match? It's been a rather dull opening second half, hasn't it?
And speaking of trends, it'll be interesting to see the type of kick out this time. Would it be low or high?
Breaking ball picked up by Paul Casey. Still a number 21 player, as Shane Ryan is fouled. Kieran Whelan switches it over this side towards Alan Brogan. Ken Doyle chasing after. Still Brogan, powerful, and gets his second point of the day. Only in his first year at senior intercounty championship level, scored 4 points in the game so far in the championship. This is point number 2 on Leinster final day. Darren Homan is accused of pulling the jersey of Killian Brennan. Kenny Dwan. Down towards Carlo Dwyer. Paul Casey. Good long ball. It's 2 against 2. It's still there. And dipping in is Darren McGee. But he gives the ball away. And it's Tyke Fennan again. Christmas came early to Croke Park, and certainly to Kildare. Tyke Fennan was so alert, forcing McGee into the errors. We watched this again. Darren McGee had the situation under control, and it was a terrible error, a terrible mistake, and Fennan punished it brilliantly. Memories of 2000.
Very much so, but a great piece of opportunism by Fennan once again. Great pressure by Early to bring about that mistake from McGee.
Well, the substitution of Paul Curran will now definitely be a talking point if Dublin lose. Here's Darren Homan trying to get by Dermot Earley. Coleman is fouled. Early disagreeing, and Mick Collins is just having a word and just noting his name, but not showing yellow. John McNally again will come out to take this. Plays club football with Ballantyre St. John's. A man that Tommy Lyons there in the background decided to bring back to the panel. And so far in this Leinster final, he's producing the goods. The ball is broken, bad handling. Hendy can't pick it up. There was a boot going in, and that's going to be a free out. Just a little bit of disagreement between all the players there. Ray Cosgrove picking up an injury, and referee Mick Collins wants to have a word for that challenge on Damien Hendy. There seemed to be a boot employed. Hendy, a native of Castledermot, as a yellow card is shown. First yellow card of the day for Ray Cosgrove. Damien Hendy getting some attention from Dr. Danny Mulvihill and Eamon O'Meara-Heptig. This is the incident again, as there was rather a hefty challenge on Damien Hendy. And it looks like Glenn Ryan is warming up along the sideline as we look at the end of this sequence. Damien Hendy, who has 3 Sigerson Cup medals, 2 with Tralee, 1 with Sligo Institute of Technology, and now plays club football in Currow in County Kerry. And the referee indicating that Damien Hendy will have to go to the sideline because, as you can see, he now has blood there on the side of his head, and a blood substitution will be required. Glenn Ryan is going to be introduced by Kildare and Mick O'Dwyer. And listen to that for a warm welcome from the Lily White supporters for one of their finest. Desi Farrell and Jason Sherlock are also warming up along the sideline, so potentially we'll have other substitutions as Darren Homan bursts his way forward, flicks it inside. Glenn Ryan leaves it for Pádraig Malarkey. Anthony Rainbow not quite expecting the pass. Goes over this side to Kenny Dwan. Killian Brennan working hard all through the day. Gives it long up towards Martin Lynch. A little push on Paddy Christie, it didn't matter, it flew over their heads. Coleman Goggins, fouled by Tyke Fenn. Paul Casey, running it on far as Colin Moore. Gets by Anthony Rainbow. It's Moore, has the support of Senan Connell, bursting his way forwards! And it's gone over the bar. Level for the 3rd time in Croke Park.
Wonderful combination between the 2 wing forwards. Moore to Connell, cuts inside Dwan, and again a little bit unlucky not to put it underneath the bar. Good score.
This is very good interplay and great running because Connell switched from one wing to the other to support Colin Moore. And the referee is now having a word with Pádraig Malarkey for an incident with Ray Cosgrove off the ball.
Yes, that's all goes back to the time when Damien Hendy picked up his injury, and I think they've been having a little bit of fisticuffs off the ball since then.
Glenn Ryan coming in to gather this, flicking it out as far as Ken Doyle. Carlo Dwyer has certainly worked very hard, not so much in the traditional centre-forward role, but around midfield. The break favours John Doyle, leaving it low for Tyke Fennan, scorer of 2 goals and a point. change that to 2 goals and 2 points. Fennan is coming back to haunt Dublin. He did it in 2000 just after half-time when himself and Dermot Earley scored the goals. Out of that, he scored 2-2.
He's a little will-o'-the-wisp, actually, who's giving Coleman Goggins an awful hard second half of it.
Stephen Cluxton aims for the middle, finds Senan Connell. Good work by John McNally. Alan Brogan now. McNally is providing an overlap to his right, but that pathway is blocked by several Kildare defenders. Pressure is forced into the air.
Yes, we often talk about the Armagh defending, how well they do it collectively, but the Kildare defence has been supreme in supporting one another whenever a Dublin player is trying to get his kick off.
Well, Jason Sherlock might just be introduced very shortly. And Tessie Farrell right beside him. They've been introduced in the other games on their way to this Leinster final. Glenn Ryan gets a touch. Falls for Dermot Earley. Support from Eddie McCormick. Remember, he's right half forward, but really positions at this stage mean good ball inside again towards Tadhg Finnan. Dublin haven't switched Coleman Goggins off Finnan yet. Laying it back outside towards Martin Lynch. Uses Tadhg Finnan, high challenge, and the referee is giving the free to Kildare and is also having a word with Paul Casey. He could become the 3rd player to be booked in this Leinster final. So we now have Ray Cosgrove, Pádraig Malarkey and Paul Casey all seeing yellow cards in the second half.
Yes, very patient play that time by Martin Lynch. Holds on to the ball, gives it back that time to Fennan, who draws the tackle actually in case he gets booked.
Yes, there was a fully closed fist there on
Closed
Tadhg
fist
Finnan.
in the stomach, yeah.
Tadhg Finnan is okay. Dr. Danny Mulvihill again rather busy in the second half. And Finnan takes his place. Difficult enough angle for John Doyle. Again takes the free from the ground and again finds the target. 5 points for John Doyle. Kildare lead by 2 points. So the moment has come for Jason Sherlock. 25 years of age. We seem to have been watching Jason since he was just 16, 17 years of age. Anthony Rainbow giving it long. Paddy Christie nipping in, intercepting, and comes away with it. Again the long ball up towards Ray Cosgrove, out in front of his man. The break picked up by Shane Ryan. The support from Senan Connell trying to get inside Kenny Dwan. Difficult enough angle, it goes off the Kildare man. The umpire says it's a 45. And Senan Connell is in fact going to be replaced by Jason Sherlock. Senan has just kicked the last time in this Leinster final. And Jason Sherlock, who scored 2 points against Wexford when he replaced Alan Brogan, and he also came on for Meath, or against Meath, for Colin Moore.
Yes, he must have picked up an injury, Martin, because I think he's been playing quite well, giving great support to the inside line. And maybe just Tommy wants to freshen up the Dublin attack with Jason coming in.
Of course, Senan Connell and Jason Sherlock clubmates as well with Fianna in the north side of Dublin. Just over 20 minutes played now in this second half. John McNally with the 45. Punch down from Cosgrove, comes to Brogan, gets inside, off the post, and Dublin are back in business. The hill comes alive. If Tadhg Fennin displayed his opportunism at one end, young Alan Brogan has done it at the other end. With the help of the post, Dublin get a crucial score. Wonderful ball control, wonderful composure. And with a little bit of luck and the help of the post, Alan Brogan gets a vital goal for the Blues.
Yes, composure is the buzzword there, Marty, because he held its nerve and delightfully placed it in the corner of the net. Very good play from a young player.
Here's Ray Cosgrove. Another goal. Incredible. Shades of 2000, but the colour has changed on Hill 16. It's Dublin with a 2-goal strike in the space of a minute. And it's Brogan and Cosgrove that provide the lethal blows. 2-point advantage. Perhaps another goal now at the other end. Here's John Doyle. He's fouled. Free to Kildare. Wanted to take it quickly. Dublin players say no. If it was a dull opening 10-15 minutes of the second half, it certainly has livened up now.
There's wonderful end-to-end stuff at the moment. Great scores from Dublin.
John Doyle takes his point. Half a dozen points for John Doyle. And still there's only 3 points between these two great rivals.
But where was the Kildare full back line for that second goal? 2 Dublin players came in and Cosgrove finished it. Could have been any one of 2.
Looks like Desi Farrell is going to be introduced. And it's John McNally, scorer of 3 points in this Leinster final, is going to make way. Desi, 31 since June 25th. Started against Wexford, came on against Meath for indeed John McNally in the 58th minute. Dermot Earley. Plenty to talk about now in the second half. The pass was just a little bit too strong. It's a loose ball again from a Dublin defence that seemed to be making silly mistakes. But that particular error not punished by Carlo Dwyer. This was a good ball in towards Ray Cosgrove. Kildare totally exposed, but the finish was sublime. Ball inside from Colin Moore. Where was the Kildare cover, I ask? Finish was great though by Cosgrove.
Finish was delightful. Took his chance sublimely and a beautifully placed into the corner.
Darren Homan is the player that's getting some attention. Scorer of a point against Meath. Still to get on the scoreboard here, as Tommy Lyons is going to introduce David Henry to the Dublin defence. Confirmation there on your screen. Substitution is going to be made for Darren Homan. David Henry comes on. Well, David Henry normally plays as a cornerback. And he is going in. And let's see the positional switches that are being made now. David Henry, of course, the hurling fraternity in our audience might just remember David Henry also played hurling for the Dubs, but concentrated totally on football this season.
I think Darren McGee has gone out to the middle of the park and David Henry's gone in left cornerback where Darren had been playing.
Here's Desi Farrell. Anxious to prove a point. His experience vital. Here's Jason. Good combination. And once more it's Alan Brogan. Shane Ryan is available in the centre. Enda Murphy saves. And out for a 45. Shane Ryan was available, and Brogan's angle must have been very, very difficult, and perhaps it was a better option to give it to the centre forward. Let's look at this again as Brogan comes in. Murphy stood his ground, and that was going to be difficult from there.
Yeah, well, Shane Ryan and J.O. both were looking for that ball passed out, but again, a very good save by Enda Murphy.
Well, it's certainly plenty to talk about the Dublin full forward line. Alan Brogan with 1-2, John McNally, who's now been substituted with 3 points, and Ray Cosgrove with 1-3. Hits it well, but it's well off target.
Yeah, but the great thing about that full forward line actually is the speed of their players. Their speed is actually burning up the Kildare full back line whenever they get quality ball.
10 wides for Dublin, 8 wides for Kildare. Fine catch by Ronan Sweeney. Martin Lynch again makes a run. Look at Paddy Christie. Incisive and indeed decisive. Trying to beat his man from in front. Jason Sherlock drives this in. It falls for Desi Farrell, but Enda Murphy comes off his line. Torrig Malarkey available, and so too Kenny Dwan. Killian Brennan provides support. Good crossfield ball over towards John Doyle. Carlo Dwyer hooks the effort. Heather Andrews unable to hold on to it. Tyke Finnan gets a touch, and it's gone harmlessly wide. Nico Dwyer consulting with his fellow selectors, Paddy Byrne and John Joe Walsh.
He'll probably be annoyed that time that John Doyle didn't go and take the score himself. Shouldn't have given it to Carlo Dwyer.
Ray Cosgrove is now at left half forward. Shane Ryan still centre, Colin Moran on the wing. The full forward line now is Desi Farrell, Jason Sherlock and Alan Brogan for Dublin. Meanwhile, down at the other end, John Doyle loses out to David Henry. Darren McGee from Kilmacud Crooks. Good run by McGee, hoping to make amends for that gift that he gave Tyke Finnan, but not with a shot like that. Enda Murphy hoping to initiate a move deep inside his own 13-metre line, but it's given away by Kenny Dwan, picked up by Paul Casey. Ray Cosgrove, Shane Ryan, Jail. Good running off the ball by Paul Casey. Defending is Ken Doyle. Arms outstretched, trying not to foul. Shane Ryan. But runs into a white jersey. Carlo Dwyer releasing Ken Doyle. Back to Dwyer once more. Terrible ball. Desi Farrell lets off Barry Cahill. He needs the support. Here comes David Henry. Plays as a half forward with the hurlers, so up there is not a new area for him. Desi Farrell tries to scoop it back. Fouled, and Kildare players incensed, and an extra 13 metres for dissent.
Yes, and Kildare are creating a lot of problems for themselves. Their half-forward line is marked absent for the last 2 or 3 minutes, and consequently the defence cannot get the ball cleared out to the midfield of the half-forward area.
News coming in that Stuart Mackenzie Smith may be making an appearance for Kildare. And the player that could be going off is Carlo Dwyer. In fact, it's 21, Pat Murray, and indeed now Stuart Mackenzie Smith. So a double substitution. Pat Murray and Stuart Mackenzie Smith all play on the forwards as we look at Ray Cosgrove. Hits off the post, comes back into play, and that was an easy opportunity for Dublin, and it may well indeed be crucial. Picked up by Pat Murray. Knocked away by Coleman Goggins. Down far is Paul Casey. Kieran Whelan. Colin Moore. Look at Whelan's running off the ball. Sent inside for his Desi Farrell. Shane Ryan. Back to Desi. Capable of scoring from there. Good defending, however. Forcing Desi wide out towards the sideline. The assistance is provided by Alan Brogan. Fine defending by Kildare. By Glenn Ryan. Alan Brogan skips away. Shane Ryan is available. He has an option to his right. Uses Colin Moore. Still not gone wide. Ray Cosgrove tries to get a hand to it. Succeeds but can't gather the ball. Here's Glenn Ryan. Just 2 Kildare players inside the 45. Stuart Mackenzie-Smith from Martin Lynch, confirmed. Dublin win possession back. Colin Moore. Pater Andrews comes up from a corner back position. Eddie McCormack has to leave him go by. Interception almost. Jason picks it up. Referee blows the whistle, takes a shot off the crossbar, but the referee had in fact blown his whistle. Kildare are very slow, Mark, in delivering the ball from their half back line to the forwards. They always take that extra pass.
Yes, but it's impossible to Marty at the moment because Kildare have lost their shape completely. Their half forward line is marked absent. They're playing far too defensively, and there's far too much distance between the back line and the 3 full forwards.
Ray Cosgrove to take the free. This time, there's no doubt. 1 goal and 4 points now for the full forward. Member of manager Tommy Lyons' club. As we see another substitution, this is Tom Harris, who played at right half back against Offaly, as they make another substitution. And certainly they're trying to reshape their team, as Kenny Dewan is the player who replaced Tom for this Leinster final, is replaced again by Tom Harris. 2 extra minutes to be played here in Croke Park. Desi Farrell thought about laying it off for Colin Moore. Ray Cosgrove gathers it instead. Onto the left boot. Didn't really get behind it, but there's a chance here that Dublin could still sneak a score. The referee has blown his whistle. This is going to be a stalemate here. Going to have to be a throw ball on the 20-metre line. Back there is Dermot Earley. No options available. Patrick Murray, very involved, scored a point in the semi-final victory over Offaly when introduced, and it's Murray again. Gives it long. This is a little bit better from Kildare, and they win possession. He seemed to run into it, John Doyle, the challenge from Kieran Whelan. Confirmation of the time that's going to be added on, 2 extra minutes. 4 points between the teams. John Doyle, happy perhaps just to tap this one over the bar. Yes, he is. 7 points for John Doyle. And just 3 points between the teams, as we are just less than 20 seconds away from the 70th minute of this match. 2 extra minutes to be added on. A sensational second half.
A wonderful second half, in particular from Dublin, the more inexperienced team, the way they came back from the setbacks that Kildare posed them.
Darren McGee laying it off for Kieran Whelan. And look at McGee, great support. Can he finish here with a point? He's gone inside the goal cover into Murphy. It could be a goal. It's there. It's scrambled. But the referee is giving a free out. Ray Cosgrove is incensed. But what a fabulous run by Darren McGee. And that alone makes amends for the gift of a goal he gave to Tadhg Fennan. And it's not easy for a player to come on as a substitute, give something away, and then perform the way Darren McGee has. Kildare on the attack. Here's the two-goal hero, Tadhg Fennan. He knows he has to get a goal. Coleman Goggins stood his ground. Patrick Murray. In for his Tadhg Fennan. Blocked by Stephen Claxton. It's nail-biting, but Dublin have the cushion of having possession. Colin Moore, anywhere will do. 71 minutes played and 10 seconds. Dermot Early laying it off for Tom Harris. They need to create an opportunity. They have it. Can they get a goal? Back outside. Chance here. Rocket. And sent over the bar by Pat Murray. It's nerve-tingling. It's pulsating. But it's absolutely great to be in Croke Park for a Leinster final with this sort of intrigue. This sort of a game where you never really know who's going to win this.
And that's for sure, Martin. What a comeback from Kildare that time. Two great scores in the last few minutes. That last opportunity could easily have been a goal.
Are Dublin going to win the Leinster title for the first time since '95? Possession here now is crucial. Jason Sherlock bravely gathering it up, feeds Pater Andrews into the space. Down here will do fine from a Dublin viewpoint. Jason Sherlock is down, but the referee has in fact blown the full-time whistle. Dublin have finally done it. Since 1995, they have felt they were out in the wilderness, but the appointment of Tommy Lyons has certainly created a new impetus to this Dublin side. Tommy Lyons, who was so gracious in a post-match interview with RTE, indeed after the Leinster semi-final, and credited Tommy Carr and John O'Leary. And today, however, the hard work over the years has finally come to fruition. But Tommy Lyons, Paul Caffrey, Paddy Penning and David Billings will take the credit for giving a new initiative. Tommy Lyons being congratulated by Mick O'Dwyer, John Bailey, the chairman of the Dublin County Board, congratulating the man that guided Kilmacud Crokes to the All-Ireland club title in '95. This is a great day for Dublin football. Hill 16, alive, buzzing, invigorated by a second-half performance that saw two cracking goals from Alan Brogan and Ray Cosgrove that changed this game dramatically. Full-time scores you can see on your screens. Dublin 2-13, Kildare 2-11. Dublin have their 44th title. Tommy Lyons.
Yes, indeed, Marty. A hugely emotional, a hugely atmospheric position here on the sideline. I'm joined by Tommy Lyons. Tommy, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, just it's a phenomenal feeling. I mean, Dublin, 7 years is too long.
And you can see it. It really means so much to so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we set our stall out to win 2 Leinster titles this year, under 21 and senior. The 21 to give us a launching pad. But like, this is beyond any expectation. The football we played today, yeah, of course.